I'm Tao Ruspoli. I'm a documentary filmmaker, and I want to talk to you today about my film Monogamish. The film started out, like many of my films, as a way of processing something very difficult in my life. My first film, Just Say No, was a way of trying to understand why drug addiction had affected so many people in my own family, which led to my first feature film, Fix. So when I got divorced nearly 4 years ago, it was one of the most traumatic experiences of my life. One way I had of processing it was to pick up my camera and start asking questions, like, why do people get married anyway? Where does this ideal of monogamy come from? I realized that as lucky as I've been in my life, my earliest memories are of seeing my parents fighting, breaking my family apart. I started to wonder, is this always how it's been for kids? Have families always been structured around this idea? The film ended up taking a lot longer than I expected because the more I looked, the deeper I realized this subject is. From a legal perspective, from a psychological perspective, from a philosophical perspective, from an anthropological perspective. I also learned that it's a very political subject. We've seen the fights around gay marriage and how much the establishment has at stake in preserving one way of looking at what marriage is. I quickly realized there's a lot of very smart people who have a lot of very interesting things to say about this. I got to meet some of my heroes like Dan Savage, who I'd been reading since college, Christopher Ryan, who wrote Sex at Dawn, Esther Perel, Stephanie Kuntz, who's the world's leading authority on the history of marriage. I went back to Italy and looked into my own family history, which goes back over 1,000 years. I wanted to find out why people got married in my own family. Unlike my other films, which were dealt with obscure interests of mine, this is a film that really affects everyone. We all have something to learn from the wisdom that each of these people have to offer. I think that the film is a really valuable contribution to a conversation that needs to be had, both on the broad political level and on the personal level, and that this is an important thing to do. And I can't get it out there without you. I need help not in making the movie. We've shot over 100 interviews. We've spent months upon months of editing. We've done test screenings. The movie's finally at a place where I'm happy with it. And all we need help with is just to do these finishing touches. The titles, the sound mix, the poster, the trailer. All of these things are necessary in order to get the film premiered, and I can only do that with your help. So please click on the button and just donate whatever you can. Filmmaking is a collaborative process. It starts out with maybe one person's crazy vision, but then it brings in hundreds of people, and I want you to be one of those people, and I really, really appreciate it. So thank you again. Bye.